Hello, it's Dragon Keeper 19600. Guess what? Not Energon tonight, huh? Since I didn't really get any suggestions, well, I got a few, but I decided to go ahead and do Transformers Armada commentaries. Now, I'm not going to be commentating over the whole series. I'm just going to be picking and choosing episodes that I particularly like. In no particular order. Well, in some particular order, but mostly just ones that I want to talk about. And this one is one that's very dear to me, because this is the episode I consider to be the part where Armada actually got good.
It all started with a distant
and also, I decided I'd do this because my latest Prime commentary, which featured Wheeljack, got blocked the instant, literally the instant I posted it. So I'm like, well, if my US viewers cannot watch that episode about Wheeljack, let's watch this episode about Wheeljack, so you can learn about Unicron Trilogy Wheeljack and what makes him unique. That's him right there on the white. This is a flashback here, by the way.
Don't leave me here alone. I need you to stay with me.
Burn with me, Hotshot. I mean, please.
I'm just gonna go get help. I'll come back for you soon, okay? Don't worry about a thing.
Weird twitching there.
I'll come back, I swear it. I'll be waiting.
Sorry, maybe it's my black humor thing, but I just love the way he goes when he runs off. Like, okay. Oh, by the way, there's a cameo coming up here. See if you get look in the foreground. Does that guy look familiar? The orange dude there? Yup, that's G1 Wheelie in a special cameo appearance. Out of all the Autobots, you chose Wheelie for a cameo. Are you mad? You actually get another cameo later in this episode that maybe you'll be happier about, but that's Wheelie. Yes, and that's not even the only Wheelie cameo in Armada, actually. He appears as a mini-con in a much later episode, which is confusing, but whatever. Actually, there are a lot of G1 cameos in this series if you know where to look, which is weird because G1 and Armada have like different aesthetics. Oh, there he is! Wheeljack is one thing, but this episode also features the wonderful, the amazing, the epic Sideswipe.
Army Division 10, Private Sideswipe, reporting for duty here on the planet Earth. Please allow me to assist you.
Does that voice sound familiar to anybody, by the way? Any bronies in my viewer? I know some of you are bronies. I've seen your icons.
Take a chill pill. He's gung ho. Give him that.
I don't remember the actor's name, but that is the actor who voiced, I think it was Flynn in My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic. It was one of the apple cider guys.
He's talking to you. You know him, don't you, Blur?
No, I don't know who he is.
He knows your name, Blur.
So what?
Hey, maybe you
Lots of people know my name. I'm awesome.
Another look at him.
That was a text message.
He doesn't look familiar.
Now, if you've noticed, Armada took a lot of liberties with,
Remember now?
No.
I love that line. Took a lot of liberties with characters. Starscream is not a traitor constantly trying to overthrow Megatron, but a misunderstood Dinobot-like character. Wheeljack is not a technician, but something else that you'll see in a little bit. Blur is not a fast-talking, eager, happy-go-lucky Autobot, but a sniper and sort of an asshole. And most importantly of all, Sideswipe is not a rebel with a twin brother named Sunstreaker. He is sort of a schmuck.
Now do you remember?
No.
I love that. No, this is like, this show isn't that great, but it's like miles in quality above Energon. I'm really having fun right now.
Hey, what is this? The circus?
So Sideswipe is explaining how he knows Blur, and Blur, I think this is a perfect, like, heroic version of For Me It Was Tuesday. Like, you know that trope where a villain wreaks horrible havoc on somebody's life, and the person whose havoc has been wreaked or whatever always remembers it, but the villain doesn't. It's sort of like that, except Blur saved his life and he's forever in his debt, and Blur doesn't even remember that. Except it's not really that he saved his life, it's that he saved him from a jackass stunt. One thing that's notable in this scene actually, is that Cybertron is portrayed as having a sky with like a blue sky with clouds. I don't think any other shows portray it that way, though there are stars there, and then there are clouds. So that kind of looks cool. There are stars and clouds at the same time, with a sunny sky. But yeah, it's kind of weird, and I don't think the rest of the series portrays Cybertron's sky that way, but it looks kind of cool, I
Ever
guess.
since then, it's been my mission to find you, Blur, and accompany you into battle. I asked around and found out you were here on Earth, so I made up an excuse to get transported.
I kept pestering Cliffjumper until he assigned me here out of sheer frustration. I'm a ladies' man.
Move. I've always thought of Blur as my hero, too.
I promise not to get in your way, Commander, sir.
You already are.
I don't have time.
Sideswipe is a total fanboy. I love it. A lot of people really hate Sideswipe because for some reason I've never understood. G1 Sideswipe is really insanely popular, even though he didn't do that much in the actual show. Stupid video game subplot. I don't care. Ha! This show just stated itself. Anyway, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh, Jesus, I completely forgot! Damn it! Curse you, video game subplot! Oh, yes, Sideswipe. Okay, Sideswipe is like been construed as Phantom is this kind of like cool, kind of immature teenager guy who's constantly running around playing pranks on other Autobots with Sunstreaker. Usually the Autobot they mess with is Prowl, I've noticed from a lot of fanfics. And that's not really apparent in the show. And I feel like that's part of the reason nobody likes Armada Sideswipe. It's because they're comparing him to this image they have of Sideswipe that they completely made up. But I like Sideswipe in the show. I like his adorable personality. I like his voice. I like, honestly, I feel like the moment he shows up is when Armada gets really good. That's like the growing the beard moment, I think. Starscream's arc is good. Yes, excellent. But it doesn't mark the start where things start getting good. When he drives up to the base is the exact moment when shit gets real. That's when the plot of Armada actually starts. Like, there have been some good episodes before then, Rebellion, you know, some good moments, but this is where it actually starts being like, yes, this is a story.
I mean, come on.
Blur's trying to dump him off on Hotshot now.
Hey, you know what? It's kind of cute if you just stop and think about it.
Cute or creepy. One of those two.
What is wrong with you?
And I'm too much of a jackass to be on anyone's team.
I'm with Blur on this one. Sideswipe needs someone to show him the ropes.
Oh, Gary Chalk can act so much better in the show now that he has a vague idea of what's going on. Unlike in Energon, where it's clearly obvious, he's just like, okay, I don't understand anything. Where's my check? There it is. Goodbye. Not his fault. Not saying he should have done anything else, because
I have to babysit this guy.
the show is not salvageable. I mean, it was, but not by just him alone.
This is impressive. You're trying to rust yourself to scrap?
What a baby.
I'm not gonna rust myself.
For some reason, the way he says the line, I'm not gonna rust myself, reminds me of, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. I am not a freaky fish guy! Mako's a freaky fish guy.
Standing guard.
By the way, this is one of the few series that show that the Autobots, the Transformers, I should say, do definitely cry. Like, they don't shed tears, but you see them, like, weeping, sort of, in a sort of, like, anime fashion. Sideswipe does it. I think Starscream does it, but it's kind of hard to tell. So, yeah, they get kind of... They don't really, yeah, like I said, they don't shed tears, but they sort of do, like, the... To use a pop culture reference, I dread using Twilight-type crying, but they just kind of look like they are. I don't like comparing something I like to Twilight. Makes me feel icky. Oh, this is a funny line too, coming up from Sideswipe here.
What's that supposed to be? You aiming at one of your little imaginary friends over there, or what?
Why don't you shut up? Sorry about that.
I just love that line for some reason. I don't know why. And he's leaning there. Is that an animation mistake or what? They reused that clip of shooting the target in the little bits for a very different scene later. And it's weird because the scene where it's used again later is a very emotional scene, but it's sort of ruined when you notice it's like, you're just cutting corners here. Have you no shame? Drive like this for, So, like, before Sideswipe showed up, I guess Hotshot was supposed to be the rookie, but this episode establishes he's not really a rookie because he's like the senpai, I guess, to two Transformers. Wheeljack, who he thinks burned to death, and Sideswipe here.
Nice try, kid.
Draw, varmint.
Too slow.
I guess I tried too hard.
You don't say.
This is great. I think it's gonna be a long...
By the way, since I know there are bronies in my audience, any of you thinking of, like... Does this remind everyone of the relationship between Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo? Because that's what I suddenly started thinking, and oh! Now, for anybody who reads Transformers comics, you may recognize Wheeljack. Actually, you might just recognize Wheeljack, his backstory, his mold, everything, from Shattered Glass. Where, ironically enough, Wheeljack's story and model were used for Sideswipe in the Shattered Glass universe. He used to be an Autobot, but the Autobots betrayed him, so he became a Decepticon. Except in Shattered Glass, Decepticons are good guys, so in that case, it was portrayed as the right thing to do.
Don't worry about it, kid. It's no big deal.
I feel so embarrassed. I have a tendency to let my emotions get the best of me.
Boy, that's...
You can't just have your characters announce how they feel. That makes me feel angry.
My Blur was like a real wake-up call for me.
Really,
Me without even...
that probably breaks the record for the most embarrassing wake-up call in all of history.
And when I went to thank him, he had already gone.
In all of media
I
canon.
owe my life. Compared to Blur, I was...
Nobody else would have gotten him down. He would have just been hanging there forever.
Hanging around with a bad crowd.
Gave him my life. You're a little melodramatic, Sideswipe.
Oh yeah, Sideswipe? So you decided you wanted to change, huh?
It's like I've been reborn. And it's all thanks to Commander Blur.
Wow, are you a
You've got
dork.
some work to do yet.
I love you, man. No, but,
Check out this view. It's amazing. You know, I've seen a lot of...
Animators
planets
put a
in
lot
my
of effort into that.
lifetime, but this is the most beautiful by far.
that is a nice background.
Sideswipe, changing your life is not an easy thing to do.
But I'm gonna do it. I want to be just as dedicated as Blur.
But you're not Commander Blur.
Huh?
You've got to be yourself. You have to focus on your strengths and weaknesses. The first thing to do is figure out a reachable goal for yourself and then work toward it. Starting today. Starting right now. And it has to start with you, not Commander Blur. You have to forget about the past.
I didn't talk through that whole scene because I feel like that's an important lesson to learn.
That's why he's...
If you want to be better, you can't try to be like somebody else you admire. You should try to, you know, improve yourself in your own way.
Now, it's time to
Of course, the Hotshot's line about forgetting the past isn't really ideal, but I think you could chalk that up to his own troubled history that he's like to just drop. But you can't just drop the past, man. You can't just do that.
Oh, you did it! You took his head off!
Sweet, that was so awesome. Yeah, no.
Alexis will destroy you! She's a blood woman, man!
Yo, Sideswipe! Slow down!
I thought you wanted to race.
By the way, since, again, I know there are bronies in this group, Alexis is voiced by, probably said this before, but I'll say it again, Tabitha St. German, who voices Rarity, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. There's a lot of My Little Pony actors in Transformers, I notice, if you look for them. Tara Strong, Tabitha St. German, whoever voiced Sideswipe. Scott McNeil! Of course, Scott McNeil is in everything. Also, if people have been were watching my Energon commentaries will probably recognize Wheeljack's voice, but then again, maybe not. The same actor who played Wheeljack played Inferno. It's just kind of weird, because Inferno's not in this series, and Wheeljack's not in the next one, so you think they would just, instead of creating this new character, Inferno, they'd just rename him Wheeljack and say that that's Wheeljack. We'd buy it, but whatever. So, yeah, at this point, Hotshot doesn't know who that is.
What's he doing?
Greetings, Hotshot, my old friend.
I'm acting! I love how hammy Wheeljack is here.
Nobody does that to me.
Oh! Where'd he go? So yeah, the premise of Armada, if you didn't know, is that every Transformer is trying to collect these minicons, and you get a minicon partner, and once you hook up with them, they're like smaller, teeny Transformers. Once you hook up with them, they give you like a special power that only you have. I guess Wheeljack's is teleporting. Most of them take the form of like big-ass weapons, but some of them are like cooler powers, like teleporting or invisibility or big-ass weapons.
Sideswipe! Don't go off on your own! Wait a minute.
Sideswipe just used his.
I remember now.
Took you long enough. So here's the other cameo. Let me introduce, in a minute,
I want you to take care of a young soldier.
Fortress Maximus. There he is.
Has no battle experience.
G1 character. I don't know much about him, but people like Fortress Maximus much more than Wheeljack. I mean, Wheelie. Wheelie is what I meant.
Proud to be fighting alongside you, hotshot.
There's some really pretty backgrounds in this show. I mean, this episode.
Even Optimus has asked you to join his troops, correct?
Yeah, it'd be cool if I end up going. But, well, it's just talk right now.
Still, it's an honor, hotshot. I envy you.
I love how heavy-handed this is. He had a white paint job before. Now he's got a black one because he's evil.
Or the battle
Whatever.
separates us once again.
You got it, pal. We'll always be friends, Wheeljack.
Don't.
Help me, hotshot.
So yeah, one annoyance with Armada is that when they flash back to a scene,
Just gonna go for help.
the dialogue is different every time they flash back to it. It's like, pick dialogue for it and stick with it. It's called continuity.
Still in there. Let me go.
So I guess Armada takes the same route that Animated took, is that the Autobot superiors are kind of dicks. I mean, remember Animated? How dickish and incompetent all the higher-ups were? Except for Jazz. Jazz rocks.
Here he comes.
Won't get away.
But Armada is sort of like a less extreme version of that. But like I said, in a much earlier video, I don't remember which one it was, Unicron Trilogy is much more military-oriented than any other series, with the exception of the movies by Michael Bay, which I hate.
Where'd he go?
Yup. Rookie mistake. The easily avoidable, how dare you come after him alone mistake. Now, I don't get this. Is this a mirage? Is he just... Did he use double team? Wheeljack's evasion increased! So yeah, Sideswipe is being sideswiped by Wheeljack. That's actually pretty clever. Why can't you be clever like Armada, Energon? No! His rearview mirror. Hey, that's another advantage to 2D animation. Showable battle damage. That's hard to pull off in 3D. As the animators of Prime will no doubt tell you. It's so hard, man. Whoever you are, goodbye! Lousy girders. You went through the girder really easily. Then again, he is not an ordinary car. He is a alien robot. Oh, hit a squirrel. Ow, that crash sounded painful. I heard glass breaking.
That showed him who's boss.
Like a boss! Sorry. I apologize.
Well, well, look who finally showed up. Too bad you missed the party.
What are you saying?
Transform! Looks like you've gotten better at abandoning
His
your
eyes used to be red, now they're blue. That's weird. You think it'd be the other way around.
You're still alive.
Surprised, hotshot? Well, I'll tell you
Hey,
something.
how's it going, man? Goes in for a hug. Punch!
Is dead. I've been reborn.
You can't say that word! The dignity of the Autobot troops, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Forgive me, Wheeljack.
is this a Japanese thing? The kneeling?
There was nothing I could do. But leave my friend out of this. This is between you and me.
Hello?
I'm your friend? I think you're mistaken, hotshot. I didn't come here for revenge. I'm no longer the Wheeljack.
It's not like I'm here for revenge or anything.
Like I said, I've been reborn.
Hello? Line?
Become a Decepticon.
No, it's not true.
Sorry, but it is. Our friendship.
Didn't you see my itty bitty symbol right there? It's right there. It's right at your eye level.
Understand? There's nothing I can do to change the past.
Now, I think this is a weird pet the dog moment for Megatron.
Wheeljack.
Because, will they show it here?
When you let
Yes,
me
they're gonna
travel
show it in a
much,
second.
I tried to lead
Megatron
you
saved
on
Wheeljack from the fire.
When the flames
Wheeljack the
I
Autobots.
knew that the end was upon me at
They
last.
never say why he did that. Why would he do that? Why would he save an Autobot? Was it to make him another soldier? Was he just... Is this something he does often? Just pull Autobots out of burning
I
buildings?
thought it was you.
That's kind of weird. It's like... I feel like Armada Megatron was supposed to be a more complex character than maybe came through due to the wanky dub.
It's true. Megatron saved me.
I like to think he like dragged him out by his ankle or something, or by his head. Megatron seems fond of head grabbing, as Starscream will tell you. That thing is a sword gun thing, I guess. So this episode ends on a cliffhanger. A surprisingly dark cliffhanger, actually. Oh wow. You know, you don't realize how good Armada is until you compare it to something that would actually look bad when you compare it to rotten dog turds, but whatever. So that was part 1 of Pass. Yes, this episode is a 2-parter, and I will do the commentary for part 2 soon. Until then. Or I guess you could just look up eagerly. I mean, you could easily look up how it ends, but there he is! There's Starscream! Cheer! Everybody cheer! There he is! Goodbye. Oh, look at this animation. See, this is what stock footage sequences are supposed to look like, Energon. If you're gonna make us look at them all the time, at least have them be good. Oh, how cool would that be? Because, like, the 2D animation Energon is, like, really excellent. What if they did all the stock footage sequences in 2D? We would not be complaining about watching them if they did that. We would be like, yes, stock footage sequence, yes! And then your toy would sell better. Common knowledge. Anyway, Dragon Keeper 19600 signing off.